Aha! Now this is a bit different, isn't it? So you'll have noticed flashing green and amber or soft yellow lights. It's currently rebuilding whatever bullshit this is and stuff. I've managed to get the unit after multiple power downs and multiple restarts and restarting it without the cable and doing all sorts of testing to reliably leave it, and it now will fail over. Instead of switching off, we'll go into standby mode. So we're getting there with it. I still think it's a firmware issue, but there's some weird things going on here. I'm not quite certain. I've done a wee bit of research, and Drobo doesn't really allow you to do firmware rollbacks. I found this wee article in their knowledge base about doing a restart, which is powering down the Drobo, removing the cables, removing the drives and all that kind of stuff, powering it on, then pulling the power, then powering it on without anything, waiting until it goes back to standby, then turning it off, then putting the drives in, then powering it up, then connecting it up, then starting the dashboard, and then we've got to this point here. It's obviously rebuilding. It's yet to fall over again, but it's still early days. Just in case there's any doubt, this is day 2. I gave up yesterday night because I was so tired, and I had to be up at 3:30 this morning for my work shift. It is now 7, so not a too long day, but long enough. So I'm just gonna have a quick pop at this, wait for this to rebuild, have a look on the dashboard. Once it's rebuilt, we're going to leave it alone and watch it fail, because I'm expecting it to fail. But maybe not, who can tell? Right, I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll probably check again tomorrow, because I'm going elsewhere. There is barbecues. Barbecue. Ta-da! Right, here we are again. Some time has passed, and I'm making this to demonstrate just how much of an idiot I can be. So all the while I've been talking about firmware, and this is maybe a firmware issue, and obviously what happens is this powers down after 8 to 10 minutes. It's always a case, I always preach this, but sometimes it goes wrong. Start from the simplest thing and go to the more complicated. I assumed, actually this is a case of, assumptions, and assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups. But I was working from my own knowledge and my own failed knowledge that this would be a firmware issue, and that basically if somehow we could sort this firmware issue out, then everything will be all right. This is not a firmware issue on this particular occasion. The eBay seller on this has given me some false information that led me down that path, but it's obviously my fault that I went down that path. But I was given some information. I was led to believe that this is never really tackled, and it's powers down of its own accord and just suddenly started happening, which indicates firmware update, and yeah. However, this is going to be a hardware issue. I shall demonstrate. You can guess what's going to happen here, why I've got showing you the back of the unit. I turn it on, and miraculously you can see the power light, but looky here. The fan spins up and then immediately spins down. The fan isn't engaging. I wonder if we can get out of show it again. It does a nice flashy thing here. Oh, spins up. And then it does this, it cycles up and down. So effectively what it's doing is, it's not cooling. It's not, there you go, look, spins down, turn it on, spins down. Which is quite bad. Turn it on, spins down, turn it off, starts up. Will it start up again? There it goes, it's starting up. Which is not how you want a fan to operate. So the fan starts up and works fine when it's powered down. You can feel it cool there. But when you turn it on, it obviously shuts down. Just it's fucked. So basically what's happening is that you turn it on, there's no fan, it refuses to spin round, so it's not pulling out the heat, and basically it's overheating. I discovered this from looking at the logs. So on the Drobo dashboard you can download logs for the Drobo dashboard itself, but also the unit. So I did that and I had a look, but found out this thing's overheating, and that is down to fan. And curious enough, it's still going. I mean, it's sort of wide in, but it might be wide in weirdly. Pull that power and just see what happens. There you go. I'm not sure if you can see that. I can see that, but there you go. So what we're going to do is open this, and we'll see what kind of hideousness is involved. Right, here we go. So we're going to take this thing apart. Or I've got a look inside. So first thing to do is we're going to get rid of these hard drives. Not using them for anything. Ah, Jesus. Right, with the hard drive all out, take this thing up. You can see it's got a bit of a gouge on the side, but there you go. Right, first things first, have we got the right screwdriver? Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's a Phillips. Yeah. Right. First snag. Change of right, change of angle. The great thing about living with people is that when your tools go missing, such as your Phillips crosshead screwdrivers, which will fit these quite nicely, because you know you've got one because you used it a couple of weeks beforehand, and they mysteriously go missing and no one knows anything. It's when you reach for your backpack and grab this. Oh, and I'm glad I'm a somewhat reformed skater. This is a skate tool. If you didn't know, and it fits all the components of a skateboard to fix stuff in the field, which is exactly what you need, which features this handy dandy little thing, which has got a Phillips screwdriver in it. So we're going to burst open. It's on this one that you think, oh, wait a minute, they're all a bit different. This one's a bit different. And this is where you realise that the dude that sold me this wasn't 100% honest. So he'd made out that basically the Drobo gun unit and the Drobo had just died. He had a quick look into it. He thinks it might be maybe the fan, maybe, but it's probably something else. And he hasn't got time to do any argy-bargy with it. He just wants rid of it so he can get a new one. It is an old unit, so it makes the story checked out. However, this tells a very different story, because this standard foot that you get with the Drobo, but this is a little screw with a little washer. Don't know if you can see that, but screw washer to keep the screw in place. And obviously this dude's opened this up, lost the screw, wanted to put this back on, and jerry-rigged something. Naughty, naughty. So this is where things get a little bit wild. The thing about Drobos is you'd think you're pushing from the front, but actually it's pushing from the rear. Just get rid of this. Oh, big black mess. Put that shield to one side. So this is going to expose the internal. One thing about Drobos that it just strikes me is that how very well designed they are. MSATA SSD. Could put an MSATA in there if I so desired. But this thing looks impenetrable. I'll just give you a. So this is just for me. It's designed to basically to say, "Fuck off! Don't come in." But we're going to challenge that today. You can see there's a few. There looks to be like screws missing from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's screws missing this. So obviously somebody had this open and lost screwage. Let's see if I can get this in. Otherwise we're going to look pretty. I might need a more appropriate screwdriver. I have micro screwdrivers, mini screwdrivers here in my little like a sponger kit. This is an iPhone kit, or a mobile phone kit if you prefer. I got it for replacing the iPhone screen. Like an idiot, a couple of years ago, I broke the screen on my iPhone. I didn't want to pay like hundreds of pounds for a new iPhone or for a new screen, so I paid I think about 60 quid for a new screen and fitted it myself. And you got this bag of tools with it, which is kind of handy, including sponges, and the sponges are really good for opening plastic bits without damaging it. Let me just quickly look across here, because I'm not sure if a cat's wandered off with it or if it's been hoyed. I'm going with it's being hoyed. This isn't ending well. Right. Small Phillips. I can do this. I can find a Phillips. Right. Right. Down at the very bottom of my tool drawer, I have the nastiest Phillips. I haven't tried this yet, so I have 2 Phillips which have got nasty heads on them. Like they've been proper foobarred over the years. Now, I haven't done, well, I claim I haven't done them, but I probably have in some way. These little, look at that. Ooh, that is not a good look. Hence why they're at the bottom of my toolbox. I also have this little handy dandy device which has no charge, but will do the job if I can find a head for it. So let's try the easiest ones first. I'm going in there with the... Oh, you know what? Ropey head for the win. That's a good look. Right. That's my ghetto answer to keeping shit together. You can buy these nice little magnetic dishes, like mini cat food bowls, but they're magnetic, so you throw stuff like these in and it just sticks to the bottom. I need to get me some of these, but part of the reason the shithole is because I'm still redecorating the new house, and of course I've got to do everything in the shithole as well. So buying new tools takes is unfortunately a low priority at the moment. Or it's not even a tool, it's a tool assist, if you will. So buying anything like that is low priority. I haven't bought any sort of power tools or anything like that. I could do with a circular saw for my other building things, which obviously do we do here? I don't know. I might do a sneak peek at some point. I am not a good woodworker, but I try. Nothing's fallen off yet. Fallen off? Broken? I don't know. Whatever. We'll just keep on screwing. Nope. Last one. It appears to be that some of these are different. They look... I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Right. So, it looks like that pulls out like that. This will be hilarious. In fact, this will be... Aha. There's 2 tabs there. Oh. Can I do it with fingers, or do I have to get my splunger out? I did that one with fingers. Oh, look, that one came out anyway. Hey, fingers for the win. Right. Need to do this side now. Can I do it with fingers? I might have to get my splunger out. Oh, yeah. Oh. There you go. Ta-da. Standard plastic bollocks. Yeah. Right, I'll put those back in there. I always like try and put stuff back where I found it, so that if it disappears, I know where it's disappeared off to. But obviously, in the case of the screwdriver, it's not always the case. If you'll pardon me, a bit of coffee. I remember when drinking coffee wasn't cool. Now everyone's doing it. Right. Let us de-shield. Oh. Now this is going to be more tricky bit, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. Right. Oh, you can see what's going on here. Oh, there you go. That's the power button. So that's your power button. That probably goes to there. And so there you go. Look, you can see a dodgy splicing job there. It looks like he's tried to do something there. Pardon me for getting my head in the way, but looks like it's a lot of electrical tape. Now the thing with changing fans in a Drobo is it looks like a decent quality fan. Let's have a closer look. There's a couple of grommets holding it in place. I wonder if the wires for these aren't exactly right. Some dangerous testing now, I think. Trying to get this power cable connected back in. Unless it wants to go in a certain manner, but what am I doing? What am I doing here? Right, let's move the chassis out. I'm sat down, I'm concentrating. There's all manner of stuff here. I kind of want to unpick this and find out what's going on under there. Because obviously this is the standard Drobo connector and this is not a standard Drobo fan. They've put a fan inside and then join and splice them up here. Now you're meant to solder these in or have some handy dandy joiners, of which I have. You're meant to, I have a soldering iron and I can solder. Not very well, but I can. However, lost in the ether of the shithole. But what I did is I purchased these. And these seem like a great idea. So these little nubbins. And what you do is you put two wires you want to join. One in there, and you join them, I guess by pushing or doing something, but you join them in there, and then it forms a contact inside and it enables you to join wires without soldering them. That is what I've purchased 25 of them, so they go into a little thing. They're always useful, and while I haven't got my soldering iron, I can use that, and that's what I was going to do for this job. If it turns out that I needed a new fan, but dude's already got a reasonable looking fan in there. I do know you need a certain fan for this, otherwise it won't start, but since it's sort of starting and then stopping, I was afraid of this, that this is a bit of a, not only a bodge job, but one that's going to be, look, there's an exposed wire there. I reckon all they've done is just join the wires together. Not done a proper splice, not soldered it, and hoped that would do the trick. Yeah. That is, yeah, look, that's all they've done. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not how you're meant to join wires together. I know it probably works and it'll be fine for 9 out of 10 cases, but that is not a good look. I mean, don't know if you can see that, but that is ropey as anything. So the dude that said, I haven't had time to look at this. This can translate into, I tried fixing it myself, didn't do it properly, fucked it up, and then I wandered away from it. But hopefully, with a bit of perseverance, what we can do is turn this bit of a disaster into a win. Even if, long term, I run this thing without its shroud just off to one side, because I don't care if it hasn't got its bits in, as long as it stays cool and runs. I don't mind. It can stay without its shroud, and worst case scenario, I can run this off I can get this running all the time. It doesn't need to be controlled and all. I can just, oh, Jesus Christ, look at this. I mean, they just twisted that around. I know it probably works, but fucking hell. That is not a good look. But at least we've got a starting point. Right. What to do. I can see the yellow one. I might have to just quickly look up to make sure that this is all set up correctly. Although it looks like red, black, and on this side it looks like, well, red, black. That should do it. I'm just gonna go away and Google and make sure that that is the correct way to do it, because sometimes it might be some sort of weird yellow thing or not. So we're getting there.